Well, hello there. It's me. It's a me. Zen. Uh, Hi guys. How you doing? I told you I'd come back. And here I am. We'll see who shows up. And I don't know. I already did a show, so this is kind of like a little part two. We'll just have a chat. Talk about anything you guys want. I suppose maybe a theme of it will be piss, like urine, pee pee, plasma. We'll talk about that. I don't know. I don't know. Most of you here, I'll let you guide the conversation because I'd assume most everyone here is already um is already pretty familiar with these chitty chats on PP. But if you're new here and you don't know, let me know and talk about why you should drink a bucket of your own urine. How about that? Would you like that to be a topic for today? Or something else? Because the last show we did plenty on medical field and doctors and social and well, we didn't really get into emotional credit, but we did get into finances and social groupings. What else did we get into? Oh yeah, the individual being saved versus the collective, and how you go. Well, maybe not how we. I don't know if we got into. I guess we did. We got into how you'd save yourself, and some of that might include drinking some piss, taking the old piss. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just gonna assume people are in the background. Hello, Melissa. What are you doing? I seen your thing with the stuff. I will. Yeah, holler at you. Um, yeah, see who else up and in here. Hmm. Just as per usual, I wait till I usually wait till about 5 minutes just to see if there's any well, stragglers. Is it scragglers or stragglers? This would be stranglers. That would be not right. Whatever. What if you're late? If you're well, this, your teacher would be like, "Oh, late to class." Sorry, teach. I was. Is it sunny here? It's going to be. Like right now, it's the. I mean, you can kind of see that poking through. Um, it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be like 78 today, which is pretty fantastic, pretty nice, pretty groovy. I don't know. I don't know how sunny it will be. I don't. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Yeah. It's like right now. It's a little overcast, I suppose. But it's only 9 o'clock. So it might. I think this because the sun is over there on the other side of the city. I think it's behind the buildings. Anyways, yeah, Breakfast of Champions. Here's so everybody can. If you don't know, this is what my diet consists of. A lot of this right here. And you're gonna say, why would you drink Arnold Palmer half and half iced teas? Because you're gonna go, then you teach us about all of these things that you should not do when you should do. Uh, and one is I say you shouldn't drink high fructose corn syrup, which just has a lot of it. And I normally don't function well with high fructose, but for whatever reason, it doesn't really bother me too much from this. Well, I got lemon juice and pear juice, citric acid, absorbic acid, natural flavors. That's no good. That's probably MSG. Sucralose, acetylflame, potassium, gum acacia. See, now that doesn't make any sense why you need to put gum acacia or ester gum in here. Nonetheless, I really like the flavor. And um, yeah, this is a big, and these are cheap, dude. Like this I can get for $1.25. That's a big win. Like it's actually cheaper for me to buy a couple of these, really, or you can just get a big thing of this than it is for me to make it. It cost me just as much in sugar, in quality sugar and tea leaves to make my own. So convenience factor. Alexa says it's 50. Where you're gonna be? You're gonna be 50 today? What does Alexa say about New Orleans? Is it supposed to rain today? Should I shower outside? That's one thing would be nice. I need to shower myself off. Oh yeah, that was interesting. Um, I had this dream last night of a domicile and had a washer and dryer in it and stuff. And I don't have one here, so that it was a really nice place too. So yeah, you ever have those things where you like a precog, you have premonitions. What's the difference between a premonition and a precognition? Anybody know? Anybody want to type that in there if you know? You know, if you don't, you don't have to look it up. It's pretty similar, right? Cognition to have awareness of something, precognition and premonition. A premonition seems like it'd be less of something than a precognition. Hey, 77. Yeah. What's up, Danny Skylark? Come on, do you know the difference between precognition and premonition? Anyways, so yeah, had a very vivid dream that I can see it right now because I'm staring at the wall. Hold on, give me one second. Let me see if I can find, let me see if I can see where it is. That's the thing too, is I don't even sometimes when I'm lucid, I don't necessarily use all of my abilities in a dream because I'm like, oh, cool, I'm in a dream playing around, and I play around, and I didn't take any notes. I didn't go outside and say, where is this? Which would be, those verifying factors where I don't know if you've ever had these things, but whether or not people believe in this is of no matter to me. But when you have a when you have a dream or a deja vu, so a deja vu is essentially your recollection of you had a dream about this before, and other times you'd be like, oh, this is exactly what I envisioned. This is what was in my dream. Uh, so I've had that happen quite a few times in my life. But I don't, but I, but I think I like to surprise myself because whenever I see something cool in my dreams, I'm just like, oh, just play with this. Like I don't need to know anything more about this because it will come to pass. It usually does. I should have stepped outside this place and that I could verify it. You know, how many times have you ever have you ever seen like somebody wrote you a note or something, or you read a book and you're like in a dream and you're like, there's a reason I should be paying attention to this. There's like I don't know if this happens to you guys, but a lot of people say you can't read in dreams. This is not true. Unless you're just not lucid enough, I can read in a dream. People say you can't use a phone. This is not true either. I've plenty of times I've looked at a phone in a dream. And I'm like, I have to remember that phone number. I should call that person. I think I know who it is, you know. Or do I know that from another lifetime, or do I just wait and when do I meet this person? Like like that kind of thing. Like, oh, I will eventually. I'll see the area code. Like, oh, that's from the Midwest. That's from California. That's from whatever. I'm like, oh, it's like I don't recognize the phone number. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll remember this. I'll remember this. And I wake up and I go, oh, what was it? That's happened to me plenty of times. I think that's probably why I don't waste my time in my dreams too often doing the whole, well, let me figure out where and what time and what realm I'm on. What's up, Skull? What are you doing? Precog is to foreknowledge, premonition. Okay, so then I have precognition. Premonitions, no. I don't participate in such things. I mean, it's all intuitive. Intuitive is either, right? A premonition is more like, hey, don't do this, do this. Where a precog is like, oh, here, yeah, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think that's the difference. Oh, and for you guys that are new here, I have this really cool thing. Check it out. It's like a little. Check this out. It's such a funny noise. It sounds like the bells at the chime tree. And I'm gonna go play with this at the chime tree. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, you've had. Oh, yeah, I would assume so. That you've had both. Yeah, mine tend to be precognition rather than premonition. But they do have a similar thing. What else are we talking about? Dreams. Hmm. It's interesting when you talk about dreams with people, and you wonder the um the lucidity and the depth and the awareness they have of their dreams. Whenever you're in a dream, like how, okay, so when you tell somebody that you can get out of body, what's up, Kendra? What you doing? When you tell somebody you get out of body, most people haven't. I mean, you do every night, apparently, but those out of body things, those astral projections, unless you're intending on it and you're lucid and you're in there, it's hard for you to like kind of have knowledge of it, right? So like when you tell somebody like, oh, lucid dreaming is pretty cool. Lucid dreaming is like do whatever you want. And then you have out of body, which is like a whole nother level to that. And you got astral projection. So I would say lucid, excuse me, out of body, astral projection are similar. Then you have your lucid dreams, and then then you just have your subconscious dreams, which are kind of you're participating in. You might get symbols and things, but it's not. It's kind of like you're probably in first person, where other times you're in a third person state. And then sometimes instead of having symbols, hey, there's a red triangle that should tell you something. So you have to figure out what a red triangle symbolizes. Where once you get out of body and in astral realms, you'll have a little less symbolic reference and more specifics. And so like having like whenever I'm saying, hey, I this dream, when other people talk about dreams, I'm like, I wonder if they're talking about dreams whenever I was like, when I was like 15, 16 years old, and I would have a dream. It would just be like an idea, and it's just half formed, half baked, and people like, oh, you live in your dreams, and you living your dreams out, and all this. But it's totally wildly different now, where I wonder if I'm talking to people, if their dreams are anywhere near as lucid. Like this here, whatever you see here, like in your realm, look around you right now. Smell that? Okay. Can you smell in your dreams? I can smell in my dreams. I can eat. I can hear things. I can interact with things, touch. The whole thing. It's just like this. And I wonder if people's dreams are like that. Kendra, what's up? Yeah. The warbler? Is this what this is? A warbler? Oh, it was a gift from somewhere. The universe provided me a gift. It's is that what it's called? I don't know. Yeah, the Wawa tube. I don't know. Pretty cool. I kind of want to put there's a hole here, and I want to put a couple more in here, see if in different sizes, and see if that changes the. It's like if I put more in there, it'd be like a flute without the blowhole, dog. Yeah, Danny, you've been having very lucid stuff since you're little. That makes sense. It makes sense with you because of the amount of life that you've lived. Usually there's an association to traumas and disassociation from reality. And that disassociation oftentimes is the connection to the other the other realms, the dream worlds, the astral projection, the guides, the spirits, the angels, the whatever. And so there's that, like, the more trauma someone's been through, fucked up, weird life, holy shits, then they're connected to that because what is this shit? This is not how this should be. And then so the you live in, like, most people live in one world, it's here. Then some people live in another world, and other people, the masters live in at least two worlds, where you live here, but you also live there. And there is could be anywhere. It's funny you said your best dreams are by the ocean. Uh, I've been I've been getting this download, actually, just like of some memes that I've watched, and it was not even memes; they're just people put little videos. And it talks about how what occurs and why people should be around water at least once a day for 15 minutes. You should get up and find yourself near water. I mean, it does a lot. It does a lot. Like, it's a big difference living on the ocean side than living on the sound side. It's different living at a lake than it is the ocean. But any kind of water, for that matter, even if it's a pool, any kind of reflective surface, plus there's a energetic discharge, even taking a shower, things like this. It's like that every day you should find yourself near water, because water has a very healing property. You're not even sure if they were a dream anymore. Uh, I think that's why I enjoy occasionally being drunk enough to be like, was that a dream, or was I drunk, or what was that? Or, I think people do psychedelics for the same reason. Because then they're like, was that a dream? Was that a psychedelic? Was that my life? What's going on here? It becomes this big amalgamation of things. Oh man, that's crazy, Melissa. Yeah, communication with other species, I don't doubt that. I think we're talking to, if you say other species, I would say the majority of that is, if we understand we live on, you call them different planets, whatever you want, different planes of existence, another realm. But you can go through the stars are portals, the trees are portals too. But when you get into the dream world, like, so if you get out of body, you astral project, you go out and you spin through a tunnel, that warp tunnel, and you hear the whoosh, and you see the spinny thing. They've showed you the movie. It looks exactly like that. You're going through this tunnel, and it's really fast, and all of a sudden you end up somewhere else. That's real. That's almost certainly. I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty certain that's what each of the stars is, and it takes you to that realm. You just do it so fast because your mind, and because once you're out of body, you're not harnessed by what this physical body can do. You're doing what your spirit body can do, which is a lot more, by a lot. So you go through this tunnel, whoosh through this tunnel, and pop open. You just pop up into a new reality that is as visual and tangible and whatever as this. But you go like, oh, you literally went through Mars, and now you're on Mars. So when they say they're going to Mars, I don't think they're kidding. They're just kidding about how they're getting there. Hmm. You smoke too much weed, you don't remember. Yeah, you fell asleep in school. See, and Melissa, you dream while you're awake. See, I didn't. I was not during school. I was very left-brained. My only outlet was always sports. It wasn't music at all, and it was not art at all. And everything was very rectilinear and ordered. And here's the process, and do it this way. So I didn't have that. I was not sleeping the back of class. PV pants. We got a bedwetter and a thumb sucker. I was not. I was not a bedwetter or a thumb sucker. What was I? Oh, I was like, the kid that like wraps his legs around the desk and it stands kind of awkward because I wasn't sure of myself. The only time I could like stand in a reasonable position, like I couldn't sit well, but sit down, shut the fuck up. Like was when I played a sport. Then I was that made sense. But if I had to sit down or stand there, it was weird. It was like I was like awkward. Can best ones come in Technicolor, vivid but coherent, last longer but memorable. Yeah, waterfalls too. Yeah, yeah, the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Yeah, the longer ones that are memorable, those are hard to grasp onto. At the beginning, it's always said that as soon as you recognize you're in a lucid dream or you're out of body or you're astral projecting, if you're not coherent, if you're not used to it, try to minimize how long you're there, and that way you can wake yourself up and remember the entire thing. Because the longer you go through that dream, like if you ever done those long adventures, you wake up and you're here and you go, what happened to that whole thing? I know I was just in this whole other place and it just vanishes. So you should take the practice out of during the dream to go, okay, well, I know I'm in my other body. Wake up slightly and play the dream backwards or the out of body experience. Yeah, waterfalls. I remember going to Niagara Falls all the time. Tree, yeah, tree assured treasure. Oh, I like it. I like it. Danny, you just wanted to climb up the tree. That's very symbolic too, huh? Mhm. Melissa, that's funny. Yeah, a lot of that, that's very, as a woman, right? You're gonna go through more watery type things. I mean, everything. More women are more water element, men are more earth. This tends to be. So like the connection to like the blood, the period, the water, the Mary, the mag, all of that stuff. Yeah, Danny's a vomiter, fainter, the whole thing. She's like a goat. She's like a little goat, just fainting. Yeah, I wonder how much, like in the real world, I really do wonder how often. Let's see. I've made a bunch of videos on this, and I think Dan has seen some. I don't know if Melissa has. I don't know if the rest of you have. If anybody here doesn't know, I have maybe 6,000 videos. Most of them are the lock and key. But if you've known some of my videos, I did one on the salt matrix connected to um, and saltiness connected to women and having a period. And my question is for the reality, and it's not even a question. It's I think I know, but how often do you think a woman is supposed to have a period? Like how often is she supposed to bleed? And my assumption is infrequently. But the only reason that that occurs is because the shedding of that it shouldn't just be once every moon cycle, but I think is while it's connected to the moon for certain type energetic reasons, it's more the reason that it happens and the reason and I know this to be true to a large degree because I know plenty of women that got back to me after making these videos and saying try this and try this and see if your period doesn't become shorter. And some chicks are like, oh my God, my period used to be 5 or 6 days, and now it's like a day or two. I'm like, what would happen is if we cleaned up the if we cleaned up the human diet to what it should be, how often would you be having a period? And my suggestion is it would not be once a month. It wouldn't even be close. There'd be no reason for you. If you have this number of eggs, let me give you another example. If you have a certain number of eggs, connect that to Easter a little bit if you want to. But let's start with how long should we be living? If most women go through menopause in their 40s, that means that we're supposed to live to 72. But that's a trick. We live to 72. That means the last time a woman would be smart enough, you'd be smart up until you're in your 40s to make a child, because how could you raise it up until, you know, up until like when would you start to fall apart? I mean, you're already starting to, so they're like cut it at 40 something. So you have already spent all of your eggs through life because you're born with the number that you'll have. And then you drop in eggs every month, once a month. Right? And then sometimes women miss periods. But why would they miss? Anxiety, maybe different chemicals going on, diet related. But like why would a woman bleed all of the time? Now, if we get back to how long we should live, that means that a woman probably would only have a period once a year. Do the math with me. If you have 12 periods a year, and that's from the time you're, say, when's a girl start having a period? 12-ish? Let's say 12 to 42. Just do 30 years. 30 years at 12 months, 360. It's probably connected to this calendar, 360 degrees, 365 days connected to Venus, which is 5, which is physical life. I know I might be talking fast here, but I've made this kind of video plenty of times for you guys. So if instead of having a period once a month, you had it once a year, how old would you become? You'd live until you're almost 400, 360 plus. So we'd be back to maybe biblical times. And maybe it's not once a year for everyone. Maybe some women have more, some women have less. But I don't think that under a healthy diet, why would a woman be getting bleeding? If you were just consuming prana and you didn't have salt in your diet, how often would you be just bleeding recklessly if you didn't eat so much garbage? So we get rid of the garbage diets that we have. We cut back on the Saturnian salt cult. Now women are bleeding less and less often. They hold on to they're younger, they live longer, they can make babies at a later age, they don't have a selfie attitude. I think we solve a lot of things. Just a observation. Ken, you said once your lady was really ill, he was worried and you were drifting off to sleep. Just 3 bright light flashes. Vision, we woke up the next day. Grung? What, young, you mean? What? What's up, Parcel? Ah, that's interesting, Ken. So she's covered in little red dots. So if she was really ill, then she was probably sweating and got rid of a bunch of the poison, whatever was making her ill. Interesting thing. I got a couple like little dots in my skin because I've had a really bad diet this past year, and so it's like eczema or whatever. I mean, I'm not itchy or anything, but it's just like I need just to do a quick cleanse in my liver, my gallbladder, and that will go right away. And get a little lemon juice, get some sunshine. But that's interesting that sick as anything, and then all of a sudden she's just like getting rid of it. Interesting. Melissa, interesting. Some tribes don't have it at all. Yeah, because their diet won't allow for it. You had three periods in 1 month. What? It has a bone drying effect not having it. Well, I don't know if that's like completely. I don't. You say it has a bone drying effect. I don't know if that's completely true because um, the idea of having it in the current climate of how we see our diet related to nature, related to chemicals, not having it is probably a sign of some problems with chemicals that we've already done. So if women are not having it, but other cultures, I couldn't see their bones being dried out due to not having a period. That wouldn't make any sense, now would it? Because a man doesn't have a period, or do we imply that a man's bones are drying out? No. So the idea is getting rid of the ability to uh, hold life. So if you get rid of if so once a month you just get rid of the ability to hold life, okay, psychologically, consciously, you're like a woman becomes very emotional, doesn't she? She goes, "Oh my God, I'm bleeding. I've lost I've lost the ability to have a baby." Whether you think that consciously right in front of your head, subconsciously, and somewhere in you, you go, "I need to make another one of these species. I just gave up an opportunity to." So we become emotional. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I don't know what's going on. It's connected. Mm-hmm. If you hear a baby crying for too long. Ken, you said sticky keyboards. Yeah, the lymphatic system is huge on the body, but nobody really addresses it too often. Yeah, the compass, compassion. Yeah, your compass to Zion or some shit. Yeah, I know that one. Sweat is a good thing. Yeah, sweat is a good thing because it's getting rid of the salty stuff to begin with before it would build up so much that it would cause chaos in the blood that you would need to get rid of. I mean, what is cupping? I mean, you know this, Danny. What's cupping? It's actually pulling the blood out of the up to the lymph system to let it get cleansed out. And after you do that, um, you've done this for people. I'm sure they tell you they have weird bowel movements because they just put their dirty blood into their butthole and now it comes out and it all stinks and it's all weird. So if we don't allow that to get to that point, the color and the consistency of blood would be different, and how often we were had to go through losing losing the blood through vaginas. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there you go. There, yeah, Western diets, birth control. Oh yeah, the birth control is huge for mental disorders, and obviously it's doing so. If chemically you're going to screw up someone's brain, and physically, I mean, understandable, but like to every day adjust your. I mean, if a chick's taking something to adjust her chemistry every day, and if she misses one day, it might not work. I mean, how is that any different than someone taking, I don't know, whatever drugs people do these days? I mean, there's pick one. What's the difference? They're changing their body, their mental chemistry, their hormone balance, the whole thing. Children hold, yeah, here we go, Ken. Let's go into that one. Children hold more water than old ones. A lot more open to things like the salt, the lose all this, the trace stuff, and leave. Well, see, because we from the emotional level, we're holding on to something, but from just strictly physical, if you just start filling up a container with salt and then we rinse it out, but not completely, fill it up with salt water again, rinse it out, but not completely. All of a sudden, you wonder why. I mean, how is a baby? A baby can put its feet behind its head. It's malleable. It's movable. It doesn't really. It's not really breakable. These little things are resilient because their bones are, of course they have to form a little stronger and harder, but the general idea is if we go through lifetime, all of a sudden where are we storing all that extra garbage and salt and whatever whatever we're putting in our body as we get older, if we don't allow for the movement of fluidium or um, the fluids, the chemicals, the electrical impulses, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, why is my back stiff? Why is this? Because we're not moving in the same way, and we're also filling our body up with this. That old people, there's not really much of it. There's not much of a reason to age too much. You ever see people that just stay doing yogic things from the time they're a child? They go into gymnastics, and the only reason that stops, like, you watch the dudes, by the time they're in their late 20s, they're done with gymnastics. They're really, really great by the time they're 30, but why do they stop it? Because their diet is not, they're done with it. They're like, okay, I can't do this for the rest of my life. Nobody wants to watch a 50-year-old, doing a doing a routine on here. It's like, this is the strongest, most whatever we're going to be, but it's only because they've continually ruined their body with their diet. So it's become very hard on their body. It's become extremely hard on their body. So they keep eating all this garbage. I mean, they go and they still work out and they do all the right things, but they're just a continual buildup. Now that's for like, oh, that's the most stretchy, bouncy, flippy people. They're all over the place. They're still done when they're 30. Everybody else sitting around like jackasses. Like, of course, what do you think the body's going to look like? Uh, Danny did the Paxil and stuff. Damn. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the emptying of emotional baggage, emotional traumas, the emptying of physical ones. They go right along with that, spiritual ones, all that. Until people do it, man. Like I was talking to my buddy a couple days ago, and he just done a fruit juice fast for, I think he said 11 days. And he's like, dude, he's like, it was crazy because I don't know why, but during the day I'd be going through all of these emotional things, and I'm like sitting there going, why am I so upset right now, or why is this happening? And he's like, and we're just talking about it. He goes, and I was remembering some shit you said, and he's like, yeah, I'm processing something from 5 years ago, day five. I'm processing something from 5 years ago that I wasn't able to get rid of, so I emotionally ate, and that chemical thing that should have been processed, and you should just went through your emotions and your feelings and whatever it was and let that go. No, we just stuff food in our mouth, and all of a sudden that binds with a memory, so it's stored in your fat, it's stored in your body. And when you go through a fast and you release these things, that's a thing, man. It's like, hey, I'm gonna take 40 years of my life and I'm gonna smush it into 40 days of fasting. So whenever I did it, it was like, I'll take 30 years of my life and squish it into 40 days of fasting. And let's see what day-to-day basis, I'm taking a year and putting it into a day and wondering why at noon I'm pissed. But at 1 o'clock, I'm just like, joy to the world. And it's like this whole thing. And people, I mean, to go through that's a lot, man. Like you're trying to unpackage lifetimes of trauma, a lifetime of trauma in a very short period of time. Most people can't handle it. It's fucking hard. But if you learn to do it, a little mini here. Let's do a little fast for. Let's do a fast for a day. Let's try 4 days. Let's try juice today. Let's try water today. Let's try, and you get rid of those little mini ones may be helpful for some people. Yeah. Other people are weird. Other people just go, I'm doing the whole thing. I'm doing the whole shit. Yeah, the healing is of emptying things. Life is not about what you hold on to, it's what you let go of. Yeah, Ken, I hear you on the fasting. And I found a lot of people that whenever they get into the health community and fasting, people get into the health thing and fasting and healing, and a lot of them they go the fruit diet and whatever. They're very heady people, and they become too electric. They don't ground themselves enough. They don't they become obsessed with cleansing, detoxing, and I'm like, you're missing the grounding, the grounding and the balance point, and the like. I don't fast for a week so I can go be a fuck up on the weekend. I'm a fuck up on the weekend, and then I fast during the week. I mean, it doesn't really matter how I look at it. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say no. Don't go do that because if I eat a chocolate cake and a steak, that's not gonna be so good for me because then I'm repressed myself, and I get into the mode. Not just me, but it's anybody. You get to the mode where you go, this diet, this thing I'm doing is not about what I can do, it's about what I can't. And all of a sudden you put yourself in this thing where I need to fast, I need to eat I can only eat this. Not, hey, there's a couple things, just trade this in. Let's eat this instead. Or you know, I tried to explain it the other day like this. If this thing that I'm in is a vehicle, I want it to be an off-road 4x4, you know, Range Rover, Jeep, whatever, and I want to know how to fix it because I'm gonna drive that shit because it's gonna be fun. Everybody else sitting out here, they got their little car, they don't know how to fix it, and they're not going off-roading. How much fun is that? So I think there's a little bit of an analogy there. They learn how to fix your thing, so you don't always have to have somebody else do it. And if you want to be in a fast car, be on the highway and whatever, or even you don't that off-road shit doesn't excite you, then stay on the road and stay, but maybe learn how to fix it at least. Hey, Ken, are you 59 next week? Good for you, man. You feel like a young imp. Yeah, healthy self, heal thyself, man. You walk a few miles every day. Yeah, that's one of the major things that has changed my life since moving to New Orleans. Well, actually, I don't know that it's changed that much because I've always walked, but not as much. Like, because when I lived in Baltimore and Bloomington, where I had to get to wasn't as far away, and it wasn't as nice out, so I didn't walk as much. Walking here, oh man, some days I probably put 15 miles just because I could get on the bus, take the streetcar. I'm just like, I'll just walk it. And it gives you the capacity to kind of interact with things that you wouldn't normally interact with. Like I used to like biking, and biking's nice because if I got to get across town, that's a straight 15 minutes. That's quicker than taking a car, actually. But walking, I can stop and smell the flower. I can play with the dog. I can talk to this person. I can grab a drink. Oh, what's this I haven't seen before? Let me take this little side street, and it's a little more of an adventure. Hmm. Drugs do. Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe when I was in my 20s, maybe I'm just not associating. I just did drugs because they were fun. It wasn't necessarily, I'm not feeling good today, so let me do this. I didn't really have that. Like growing up, my parents, I think I had Munchausen's by proxy. They gave me lots of drugs. But then whenever I was making a choice to do something, like pick something, if I would do it, it was like, this is fun. It wasn't like the pain of my life, it's so deep and so no. I think the only thing I've used like that, it was probably the two simple ones. Weed and beer, weed and alcohol. Those are the only thing. And most of the time, weed and alcohol for me, most of my life, 80 to 90% of the time. Oh, it's for a good time. It's not for oh the pain and all this shit. Because I think it's because I did that really long fast and hard that I dealt with all that trauma. So it never became like as much as I like drinking, like I don't have any alcohol right now. I don't care. I'm not like sitting here with the DTs, like I gotta go get a drink. I like it. It's something to do. I like smoking weed with people sometimes. There's all sorts of things I like doing occasionally. So I think as long as we find the things that we do to expand our experience rather than repress some actual feeling we have, I mean, you can use any substance for that reason. There happens to be certain substances that, generally speaking, people use as a repressive thing. And when you repress that, then you have that trauma, those memories stuck in there. And when you get off the drugs and do something to cleanse, and you're gonna have to deal with all that. It's an emotional mindset stored in the body. There'll be a physical pain. Go read. You can watch the movie or read the book. It's called Emotion Code. Check it out. The movie's obviously way better because there's nothing to read. You'll get everybody talking to you. Emotion Code. Check it out. Mm-hmm. What's up, Axiom? Yeah, there we go. The car troubles. Yeah. Hey, once you learn how to fix the car, man, you know what I'm saying? You fix your fucking car. That's your body. It's your temple. That's your house. You can call this a house. You can call this a car. You can call this a computer. If you know how to fix your computer, if you know how to fix your engine, your temple, the whole thing, work through that. If you could fix major league, the easiest thing is just learn how to fix your body. Just fix the fucking body. Like whatever's going on inside, and then that will help to release the mental traumas. You can do it either way, but it usually works doing the physical things. Why do we pay to live in a place we were born? Good question, sir. Identify where emotions are stored and which organs then at one time support with. Yep. Yeah, every organ has its connection to a planet. Every organ has a connection to foodstuffs. Every organ has a connection to a color, a sound, and the same. Think of any instrument. If you clog that instrument up, your instruments are organs. Organs are part of instruments. So your body should be making a sound with your instruments, with your organs. But you don't really hear it because you've never sat still enough with yourself to be like, oh, what sound is that making? What are you exuding? Axiom, don't drink your pee. It sounds gross. What are you talking about, bro? I'm of course I have. Shivan Bukalpa. I've been out here for years telling people what's up, putting people on game. It's about the healthiest thing anyone can do. Actually, me know better. Yeah, I thought we talked about it before. B, I've been pushing the good word of urine therapy, Shivambu Kalpa, ancient knowledge of the wisdom. Pee a day keeps the doctor away. Axiom, Axiom, he'd been here for years. He changed his name a couple times. He hasn't been around for a little bit. Yeah, Axiom been around since the beginning of my channel. I think before I really put out too much on Orin. You know, you probably were in and out of like some of my live shows that when I didn't really address it that much. Yeah, yeah. Axiom. You think you think I'm serious? I might be Phil Jackson. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Zen Jackson. Yeah, Zen, chill out. Go get some air. Oh, I'm actually going outside in a little bit to go enjoy some of the French Quarter, some music, and it's lovely today. It's going to be like 77. I'm just waiting on some. I have a package coming. You remove the headband. Oh man, see that's a little trick of mine. I need to wear this when I'm outside. I'm just so comfortable with it on. Yeah, I know. For all this, I get you. I wear this because it it covers up my third eye, and I can't be having everybody all up in that energetic space. You know how you're putting out energy off of here, off of your heart, off of different parts of you, and so this is comforting. Whenever I'm taking a nap and I just woke up and it was on. But thank you for reminding me. Yes, I keep it off unless if I'm in public and have to deal with people. I tend to put the hair up and put a thing on. who says about who said meth? What you talking about? What did I miss? What did I miss? Who's like Method Man? Yeah, I know a lot of motherfuckers that actually do some crazy shit that I never would have expected. I don't know. Drugs are drugs, man. I'm not for or against any of them. I mean, I don't generally speaking, I don't think certain subs, certain of them, they don't seem like they're doing a very good job of helping that person. Other people I know that do some shit that I'm like, they have a pretty decent life. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing different? Yeah, hallucinogenics. Yeah, most people use them as recreational activity, and I think they should first be used as like an instruction video. You know what I mean? Like here, I think it's just a difference. It depends on if you're taking it. If you're taking it at a show and a party as music, you're still getting healed, especially if you're listening to good music. But you can also take it in higher doses in healing. I'm gonna go see this about and sit here and meditate and do all of the work. I mean, they can be used either way. Wow. Yeah, Carson, you were saying that. That's crazy, but hey, everybody's got their fucking thing, man. Cantrell, the organ recital in a cathedral. When you understand what those giant churches were to begin with, anyways, with the organs, and then you have in the front, you have that big cymatical, like in the front of a church. They're all different. They're all different, and that is a representation of a standing waveform inside of the church. They've shown this that if I go into one of these churches and I see that big stained glass window, it's round on the front and it's like this beautiful shape and all of these different colors. You go into that church and you take a really nice microphone and you record the sound and then turn it up and then record it and you start overlaying this, there's going to be a standing waveform that's going to the frequency basically of the church itself as the shape of the church. And they'll show that to you cymatics because it'll be 537.2 million hertz or whatever the hell it is. I'm doing the math all wrong. And that's going to be that shape on a cymatics will come out to be what that window is. They've shown it. So that whole and then you get somebody to actually play the organ that knows what they're doing. Super healing. Yeah, the methodologies. Yeah, some people are into methods and shit, man. I don't know. That's the thing. Branches. Am I still? Nope. Nope. Not at all. Why would you think such things? Odd core. That's funny. I've been lazy on it. And I've talked to you guys about this before. Every time I have like a little bit of a something a little bit I could fix, and I just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Like I had this little kind of cough that I was fucking with, and I was like, oh, I'll drink my piss tomorrow, and then I just get lazy, and I'm just like, I'll do it tomorrow, because I'm just seeing how like seeing how much additional plasma I should put in my body. How much will my body just fix itself on its own? You supervise is he a karate master? Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of they wear it. I'm sure there's got to be more reason than Daniel Sun with the sun thing and a symbol. To hold the hair back might be for one reason, but I think it's more for the pressure on the pineal gland. I think that's it. Hmm. Uh, Dr. Emoto's work on emotions was real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm very familiar with Dr. Emoto. Interesting that he does work on emotions with the last name like that. But the emotion code, there's a bunch of the best teachers out there. Most of them you probably have heard of, but they get really, really deep into the knowledge of stored memory within fats and things in the body and how it gets there, the chemistry behind it, and the emotions that are stored in your body. It's like, have you ever had work done on you or done work on someone? Well, putting hands on, and here's a couple pressure points, acupuncture points. Here's a couple trigger point therapy. Like I've done this to people a lot. Like sometimes I'm just in public and I can see how they're posturing or whatever. I can see something. I'm like, hey, and I show them like, hey, I got this thing here. It's like a Reiki symbol. Like, hey, I kind of know massage a little bit. I was like, mind if I do something for you? And they immediately go, and they'll fucking just tighten up, lose it, and then relax and go, what the fuck did you just do? And they're just like, holy shit, like you just fixed my whole shit. I'm like, yeah, it's just you're just holding something right there. And they process it for a second. And as soon as that goes away, it just opens up that entire channel. Hmm. You were the photons of your own opera. What time is I have to I have to do something at like 10. So um I remind everybody here this. You're allowed to Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. It's in the description box. You can always find my old writings. If you need help with anything, there's my email, blah, 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 blah. Um, and in closing here, if there's any other questions or comments, anything, if you want to go deeper on anything, I've already done 2 shows. I can try to get on here a little later, but I have something to do in a few minutes here. um, uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Peace out, Ken. And if anybody needs anything, last chance here before I dip. But I mean it's Friday. It's 10. I got a couple things, and then we'll see what it's like outside. Yeah, yeah. The chime tree. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll chime tree and play with this guy. You guys want to play with this guy? Oh, that reminds me of a Pete Rock. It's the beginning to only play this at night. Word. Go out, look up the song. Well, maybe it's not that song. Hold on. It's on Pete Instrumentals. Pete Instrumentals Volume 2. Volume 2. Go listen to the whole album. It's one of the best things you ever hear in your life. Okay. Let me get the hell out of here. You guys know the rules. One, be weird, be yourself. Be strange. Uh keep warm, man. It's 77 today. I don't need to take heed of any inopportune weathers except for maybe a little rain. Uh yeah, anybody else feel free. You can always questions, comments, blah 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 on any of my videos. There's my email. Okay, good to see everybody. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.